Do you wish somebody wrote down the recipe for your parenting challenges? Did you want tips and tricks to become a better mama for you and your babies? I know I do. If you're a mother who feels that you are doing the best you can with the hands you've been dealt, but you're still getting it done, then this podcast is for you. I'm so glad you tuned in to Nailed It Motherhood, because we might have the recipe that nobody wrote down. What's up, everybody? You're listening to Nailed It Motherhood Podcast, and I'm your host with the most, Tamara Eldridge. I am so pumped about today's episode, but I don't want to go too far into what we're going to get into today. If you're watching the promotions, then you already know what it is. But if not, let me introduce you to Nailed It Motherhood Podcast. Nailed It Motherhood Podcast is a podcast for you, by you, kind of like FUBU. If you're interested in learning more, please check out our website, www.naileditmotherhood.com. Let us know if you like us by rating us, by sharing, just by listening. And don't forget that you can support our show by buying me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com. The link is in the bio. But anyway, enough about Nailed It Motherhood Podcast, because we're looking to hear from some mothers who are nailing it. Does anyone like to attend baby showers? I sure hope so, because on today's episode, we aren't throwing a baby shower, but we are running a baby bath for my beautiful friend who is about to welcome her very first child into the world. We can clap it up for her. This is an exciting moment. I am so ecstatic because when she told me about it, I geeked so hard for her. Man, I can't even tell you how happy I was. And she earned every blessing that comes her way. And it's time for her to get the flowers that life is about to give her. So, what is a baby bath, you ask? A baby bath is my interpretation of a handful of mothers who are walking this thing called motherhood, who have some wisdom to pour into our mama-to-be, to which she can soak in this wisdom and be better equipped to start her parenting journey with her loving husband. But who am I kidding? There is no preparation for parenthood, so she is going to learn today. And what better way to learn than from some of her friends right here on Nailed It Motherhood Podcast. Ooh, y'all, I am so excited. So let me just jump right into the introductions of our fabulous mamas and family today. Our first guest, who will be able to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her, is our Sangan sister friend, Jasmine Henry.
Hey. Hey.
Tell us a little bit about yourself today.
Okay, I'm Jasmine Henry, married to Maestro Terrell Henry. And I like long walks on the mountain terrain. I am a music buff. I love jazz, love all types of instrumental music. And I should have been a theater major.
Yes, honey.
And I've been a mom for almost 16 years. It's wild.
That is wild. And Karkar and I have a long way to go.
Hoo-wee.
Before we get there. So we will be coming to you for the wisdom that you have for us today. All right? The next guest today is the honorable sister and today's co-hostess, Krysta Ward.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much, Tam, for having us on the show and having me on the show. Really appreciate it. Although I'm not a mom yet, my experience just being around other great moms, I think is going to be able to add some value to the show today. I've known my sister for 36 years now. Sorry for telling your age. But she's wonderful, and I'm so glad that we're able to spend this quality time with her. We grew up in Pennsylvania and with two loving parents and two brothers and a Christian household. So we're really rooted and grounded in some things that I believe will then carry on into how she grows into motherhood and flourishes in this new role that she's undertaking. So I'm so excited. And here I am.
Hey, Auntie. Though you don't have children yet, I, for one, have witnessed how amazing you are with kids. So whether it's auntie, whether it's mommy, whether it's sister friend, you are an amazing part of the village. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tam.
Welcome. And last but certainly not least, we have to introduce the mama. That would be Mrs., and I say Mrs. very proudly, Mrs. Karlynn Brown. Say hey, girl.
Hey everyone. If I feel or sound slightly out of breath, it's because I'm pregnant. So that's the reason why we're here.
Oh, yes.
But yes, I am 36 and I work as a civil engineer at a fund firm. I graduated from Penn State. I am also a lover of all things music, and I am so excited to be here and spend time with my sisters.
Thank you so much for showing up for your baby bath. I hope you brought a towel. All right. Well, let's jump right in and play a game just to see how well prepared Car will be. As a parent, more specifically as a mom, you will have to translate for your kids what they need and then to people they are trying to communicate with as well. Will you understand what they are saying? Let's find out in Baby Babble. So in Baby Babble, each line contains words that, when put together and sounded out, make a phrase. For example, pea sank white. When pronounced quickly, that sounds like peace and quiet. For this game, you will need a pen and paper. I will show you a phrase and read it aloud, and you will write down the phrase you think it is. Once you are done, type done in the chat in case we need a tiebreaker. The person with the most correct answers wins. Aid, ride, hyper. Aid, ride, hyper. Number 2, ace, leap, lesson, height. Ace, leap, lesson, height. Number 3, docked, hearse, whose. Docked, hearse, whose. Number 4, farther, stay. Farther, stay. Number 5, egg, ranch, house. Egg, ranch, house. Number 6, aim others, hinder wish men. Aim others, hinder wish men. Number 7, sass, Mr. Eat. Sass, Mr. Eat. Number 8, thud, era, belt, ooze. Thud, era, belt, ooze. Numeral 9, water, wheeze, post, toot, who. Water, wheeze, post, toot, who. Number 10, buck, spun, he. Buck, spunny. Number 11, pea, cub, who, icy hue. Pea, cub, who, icy hue. Number 12, hide, hen, tickled, wins. Hide, hen, tickled, wins. All right. Does anybody need me to repeat any?
No, I can read them, but this is the exact reason why I taught my child sign language. We're not doing this. You got to enunciate. All of my babies, both my goddaughters, sign language.
That's hilarious.
Or at least point me in the direction, because my husband and I call my goddaughter's language, Lebanese, because we don't understand what she's saying.
I'm still trying to figure these out.
I got a couple of them, but yeah.
Same.
As Tavia always tells me, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Answer key for Baby Babble. Aid ride hyper.
A wet diaper.
A dry
a dry diaper.
Dry.
Oh.
Whose baby is saying a dry diaper?
I don't know.
Karlynn, we can't hear you.
Oh, that's funny.
Number 2, a sleepless night. A sleepless night.
A sleepless night. Oh, these are not things that babies are saying. These are just phrases.
Yeah, just phrases.
I went deep.
Oh yeah, because they're not saying any of these things.
Mm-mm.
Maybe one.
Maybe a few, yeah.
Number 3, Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
I feel like we all got that.
Yeah. Everybody gets 1 point.
Yay.
Number 4, Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Nope.
Nope.
What?
Okay.
No, Karlynn?
I said, are they staying?
What was the answer?
Father's Day.
Yeah, that's what I got. Father's Day.
Nope.
Are they staying?
Number 5. Did anybody get number 5?
No, I got egg
ranch.
I got eggs and ranch.
Mine's blank. I didn't write anything down.
Eggs and ranch. A grandchild.
A grandchild. Stop the madness. Not at all.
Are you ready? Because you guys should know this one, right? A mother's hen wishing.
A mother's intuition.
Intuition.
I missed the rest. I just had a mother's wish.
Tim's got jokes.
Yikes.
I love it. I love it. It's fantastic that none of you got any of these. Number 7, Sass Mr. E. Sesame Street.
No.
What?
There's too much sass in that word.
Yeah.
There's too much. I put Mr. E.
I put that's a mystery.
I put mystery.
I put the mystery part. Yeah, I wouldn't have figured that out myself. Okay. Thud era belt ooze. The terrible twos.
The terrible twos? It's a real thing.
Oh, mine came at 3.
It's a real thing.
Water wheeze post toot who.
What are we supposed to do?
What are we supposed to do?
Yep. What are we supposed to do?
There you go, Krysta.
I got that.
Krysta's winning, I think.
I got 2 points right now.
10.
I have 3.
Okay.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Yep, I have that.
Yeah, I got that.
Bugs Bunny. I accidentally said Bugs Bunny. Peekaboo I see Hugh.
Peekaboo I see you.
Yeah.
And last one.
That.
Hide hen tickled wins. Identical twins.
What? I said I have tickle hands.
That's what I put.
I have tickled wins. I don't know what tickled wins are, but
those are when you pass gas.
Tickled limbs.
Well, your answers were fantastic. Car, what was your favorite interpretation?
Ooh. Probably the easiest one, Peekaboo I See You, because that's a really fun game to play with kids.
And she loves to play it.
Yes.
True.
Oh my God.
For verification. Jazz, what was your best answer?
My best answer, I guess probably Dr. Seuss. I love Dr. Seuss.
Favorite book? Favorite story?
Mr. Brown Can Moo Can You? Legendary.
I heard that.
Yes.
Well, all right.
Yes. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. He can go like a cow. He can go moo moo. Mr. Brown can move. How about you?
Mm. Make sure that's in your library card.
Bars.
Yeah. Add that. Someone got that? Someone got that?
It's a good one. My dad used to like rap it, and he was percussionist, so he'd add all types of pots and pans to it. My brother would play.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I see why
It turned
was
into
your
a whole
favorite.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. That was our favorite book to read at night.
And we're the Browns, so this is great.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Meet the Browns. Krysta, what was your worst response?
My worst response. The terrible twos. I had Thunderbelt, Who's.
Thunderbelt ooze?
Who's.
Oh, who's?
Thunderbelt.
Thunderbelt Who's. I was like, okay.
Yes, we're going with it. Well, that was fun. I appreciated you guys and the way you're thinking, but do know, Car, when Baby Brown comes, you better figure it out. Figure out what he's saying. You could teach him sign language, or you could teach him how to talk by not baby talking to him. We don't do that up in this house. No, ma'am.
No, we didn't do it either.
But that could be a blessing and a curse, because mine does not stop talking. So, moving on. I'm super pumped.
That was.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say that was me. That was me.
I think we're all guilty, so it's okay. Welcome to the club. I am super pumped that today I decided to hand over. Nope, redoing that. I am so pumped that today I decided to hand over my mantle of hostship to the beautiful Krysta Ward. She will be my co-host today. So Tammy can just play along and respond as a mama. Krysta, I now dub you co-host of the It Motherhood Podcast, the baby bath episode.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so honored and privileged to be here today. And thanks, Tam, for this opportunity once again. Let's just jump into another segment. We're going to talk about everyone's story about how they found out they were pregnant. If you remember, you were like, I'm late. So even if it wasn't the most exciting, your kid still had a start, and that's enough to share. And since no two pregnancies are the same, I am curious to hear the variations of how you all knew you were pregnant. All right, so we will start with our host of the show, the hostess with the mostest. Let's start with Tam.
To me? I feel so honored. Thank you for having me on your show. How did I find out I was pregnant? So, if you've heard the episode Deliver Us From, you know that I was in a very, very, very dark place whenever I got pregnant with Tavia. And something about it, just like I just knew, like my boobs were a little off. Like it was just, they were just off. And it was actually very early whenever I figured it out. So Tav was conceived in December, and I felt like I was pregnant at the end of January, February. And I was going to a cruise with my family the second, third week of February. And, you know, libations were involved. And so I said to myself, don't be an irresponsible adult. Get the test. So I took the test because I did not want to partake with the family if I was with child. I took the test, and I swear the moment I peed on that stick, it came back like, you're pregnant. And I just laughed because I didn't even wait the full 3 minutes that you usually have to wait. It's just like, I peed, I was pregnant. I laughed and I said, I kind of knew this was happening, so here we are. And lo and behold, I was actually pregnant with twins. But God had his way, and I am blessed with my beautiful one daughter, Tavia, who I joke around and say that she probably ate her twin. But that's my story.
Thank you so much, Sam, for sharing.
Carnivorous.
Yes. And then now let's go to Jasmine. We'll save the mama for the last. So Jasmine.
So I actually had a full cycle 2 months before I found out that I was pregnant. I would have conceived her in either late September or early October. And on my 21st birthday, libations were involved. So this is wild. And I was like, I need to pee on a stick and find out, because I had tenderness in my breasts. And I was just super naive back then, if I'm being honest. I peed on one stick and I looked at it and I threw it away. And then I peed on another stick and I was like, lies. And I peed on 5 sticks total. Yeah, I didn't believe any of them. And by the 5th one, I came down, and even though I was in a relationship with the gentleman that I got pregnant with, but I knew in my heart that he was not going to be the father that I needed him to be. So in those moments, you know, when I look back at it, I can tell that I'm not my happy self about being pregnant, but he was elated. He was ecstatic. And then after that, I had to figure out how I was going to tell my very saved parents that I was pregnant out of wedlock, and I'm going to move in with them. And I did that. And then to confirm the pregnancy, you know, you got to go get your blood test. And I went and got my blood test done. And I'll never forget, I felt so bad. I wish I could call that lady and apologize to her, because she was like, congratulations. And I was like, this is not a celebratory moment. And I hung up the phone with her. I was in my cubicle at work, hung up the phone with her, and I just bawled my face off. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't. Kiara is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So yeah, that's how I found out that I was pregnant. As pastor's daughter.
That was 16 years ago. That's all right.
Yeah.
Thank God for grace. Amen.
All right. Now I know a little bit of this story myself, but let's just jump right on in. Karlynn, go ahead and share with us about your story about how you found out you were pregnant.
Sure. It's a really funny story, and I have to give a full context to how it happened. Back in August 2023, it was a Sunday, and after church, we decided to go to brunch. And Malcolm wanted to surprise me and take me to this spot that he had already been to and he had really enjoyed. And he was like, their brunch is like out of this world, is great. So I'm like, sure, let's do this. This restaurant that we went to, which shall remain unnamed, is a family style type restaurant. So you sit with strangers or other people, about up to like 8 people, like a hibachi style kind of, but it's, you know, around the table. And typically you kind of wait until the entire party's there and then you sit, and then they serve the food and then you pass the food around, which is, you know, it's kind of cool because you're, you know, with other people and it's like a nice little fellowship style. But when we arrived, it was just 2 of us. And they sat us with a table that had already been seated, and they had kind of been there for a while. By the time we sat down, the ice in our water was like kind of melted. The food was like half eaten because they had passed it around, and it was just like, oh, what's going on here? There was like a lot of kids with sticky fingers at the tables, and so it was just, the setup was like, wow. Okay, well, we'll get through this. And then on top of that, they had finished brunch maybe 30 minutes before we arrived. So they had moved on to like dinner. And I was hoping for some eggs and, you know, some good old like brunch style food, but they had fried chicken and, you know, other things, even though they serve fried chicken at every meal. So we're eating, and I'm tasting and I'm eating, and the cucumber salad comes around. I'm like, let me go ahead and try that. And then we're talking, and all of a sudden, like, I'm just like, ugh, ugh. So, like, I start coughing a little bit. I'm like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. So I get up and I go to the bathroom in the restaurant, and as soon as I walk in, I'm like, this is gross, and I run to a stall and I throw up. At the restaurant. And I sit there for a little bit and I'm like, wow, I just threw up at a restaurant and this has never happened before. But you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. Then maybe it was just the smell of the bathroom, maybe just the thought of just the restaurant, the sticky fingers of the kids. I don't know. It just made me throw up. So I was in the bathroom for about 10 minutes. I come out, and as soon as I come out, Malcolm was basically looking for me like, hey, are you all right? You've been there for a while. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And we start talking. I talk about some other things. Maybe 10, 15 minutes later, I actually expressed to him that I threw up. And he was like, wait a second. Wait. You threw up here at this restaurant. You got up and you threw up. You were so disgusted. We can leave. Let's go. let's get out of here. And I'm like, okay, I guess we could go. Because when I got back, I started eating again. So like it didn't seem like anything was wrong. So we get up, we pay our bill, and then we go. And we're in the car, and he's like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything else? Like, do you need water? I was like, "Oh, I am feeling a little woozy. Maybe some water." And he said, "Well, are you pregnant?" And I bust out laughing. I'm like, "No, no, I'm not pregnant." And I sit there and I'm like, "You know what? When we get home, I'm gonna take this test just because peace of mind for you. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this test." So we get home, and I take the test, and I'm peering at the stick, like just like peering at it, and I'm like, that's a second line. I'm pretty sure that's a second. Malcolm, come look at this. Do you see a second line here? And he was like, yeah, you're pregnant. That looks like you're pregnant. And I was just like, okay, we're pregnant. We're pregnant. We're just going to be pregnant now. That's how we found out that we were pregnant.
Classic.
She was looking at the stick like it was a COVID test.
Right.
But to know her is to know that she has a stomach like a freaking iron tank. She eats anything and everything, tries stuff that be moving. I can't. So
she did have a stomach.
She
like
did have
tank.
a stomach.
I did.
She did. And for her to just throw up like that over food that she saw, I was cracking up.
But
when she told
to the table and started eating again.
That's Karlynn. She's committed.
Yeah, I did.
She's committed. She's gonna finish.
We're not gonna waste nothing. Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for sharing. That was entertaining, to say the least. I appreciate you all. All right, let's move on. Parents know a lot about their kids, but how much do they really know about babies? Well, Tammy's going to play another game with you, so I'm going to pass her back the baton. Tammy, off to you.
Thank you, Krysta. I felt like a newscaster there. So, as a parent, we try to learn everything we can about our babies, though they are ever changing. But some things are just trivial. Yes, you guys can go ahead and make fun of me because the puns are intended. And they do us no good to know unless we need to know it. And I'm talking about the trivia. But on this call, we're going to be able to take advantage after playing baby trivia if we ever go to a game night and need to know this information. I have 10 questions, and I know Car is excited because she's competitive. Each question has 4 choices. I will ask a question, and you will answer either A, B, C, or D on your notepad. At the end of the game, whoever scores the highest will be identified as the smartest caretaker on this call. All right, are you all ready? Question 1. How many bones does a baby have at birth? Is it A, 160, B, 206, C, 270, or D, 300? Number 2, what is the first sense a baby develops? A, hearing, B, taste, C, smell, D, touch. Question number 3. When does a baby start to smile socially? A, 3 to 4 months, B, at birth, C, 2 to 3 weeks, or D, 4 to 8 weeks. Number 4, babies are born without which body part? A, kneecaps, B, elbows, C, tailbone, or D, shoulder blades. Question 5. The average toddler will take how many steps a minute? A, 102, B, 220, C, 110, or D, 176. Number 6. How many hours does the average newborn sleep in a 24-hour period? A, 16, B, 12, C, 10, or D, 8. Question 7. How many babies are born in the world every second? A, 3, B, 4, C, 6, or D, 7. Question 8. How many diapers does the average newborn use a day? A, 3 to 6, B, 20 through 25, C, 8 to 12, or D, 10 to 14. This will help you identify which pack to buy. Number 9. At what age the baby doubles his or her birth weight? A, 8 months, B, 3 months, C, 5 months, or D, 10 months. Numeral 10. At what range can a newborn see clearly? A, 3 to 7 inches, B, 8 to 12 inches, C, 13 to 17 inches, or D, 18 to 22 inches. All right. Are we ready for answers?
I just want to make note that these answers overlapped and were a little too close.
So you couldn't do process of elimination like on the SATs?
I couldn't
Exactly.
either. I agree.
Well, when you get the correct answers, you just make sure you keep that in your brains. Because if it ever comes up again, you'll already know.
That's right.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome stuff. All right. Number 1, 300 bones. A baby has 300 bones at birth. D, 300. Number 2, D, touch is the first sense a baby develops. Touch. Number 3, when does a baby start to smile socially? Anybody want to guess?
D. I don't know.
I said A.
I said C.
Oh.
Well, it's not at birth, but it is D, 4 to 8 weeks.
So
Nice.
that's the thing. Mine was like 2 to 4 weeks, and that overlaps with 3.
No, it was 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
That's
Karlynn, it's just a game.
You know how this goes.
all right. Number 4, babies are born without which body part?
Kneecaps.
Your tailbone.
Is it a
Shoulder
tailbone?
blade.
The answer is A, kneecaps.
Oh, kneecaps. Look at you, Krysta.
And that makes sense though, right? Because they could be in there folded up in all types of shapes.
Right.
But shoulder blades would make sense too. It's not our say.
No, I knew it wasn't shoulder blades because my mom broke my brother's clavicle when she pushed him out. Yeah. He was in a sling for his shoulder blade for out the womb. He got stuck in there. Big head.
I was about to say, that must mean he got a big head.
She had hip dysplasia.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was hard for her to push, and she tried to tell them that, but we won't divulge which hospital that was at.
Okay, because that's a whole nother episode. But anyway, number 5. The average toddler will take how many steps a minute? The answer is D, 176, which is actually a lot.
They just need to sit down somewhere.
Right. Number 6. How many hours does the average newborn sleep in a 24-hour period? Anybody want to guess?
It's either 10 or 12.
Or?
I said 16.
Or did you quit us?
I didn't quit. I said 12.
Well, the answer is indeed 16.
That's too long.
That's A. It's a newborn. They sleep all day.
No, wake up so I can sleep at night.
Yours did 16. Got it. Number 7. How many babies are born in the world every second? The answer is B, 4.
Krysta just guessed it.
Oh, Krysta's
killing it.
She did not get the answers.
Her guesses are good.
Number 8. How many diapers does the average newborn use a day? 85. It's like I'm just playing. C, 8 to 12.
See.
Number 9. The baby doubles his or her birth weight at what age? C, 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
At what range can a newborn see clearly? Any guesses?
I said B.
12 inches.
All right, Carwell. The answer is the answer is B, 8 to 12 inches.
Woohoo!
Yay!
I am not prepared, apparently.
None of this actually matters. Diapers. Know that you're going to go through about 12 diapers a day.
I wrote that one down.
How many did everybody get?
Less than everybody else.
I got 5. I'm pretty sure Krysta won.
I got 6.
Yeah, 6.
Perfecto mundo. All right.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Sadie.
I've been here for like 20 minutes. Nobody will let me in, but
And
I was like,
hey.
I said, let me just text somebody.
That's wild.
Could you hear us?
Yeah, I was playing the games and everything. But we got it.
So I heard a ding, but I was reading and my screen was being shared, so I couldn't see this background. So you just
And you said you were on airplane mode, so you didn't get any of my text messages. So I should have texted Jazz or Krysta a long time ago, but I didn't want to distract.
No.
That's cool. Welcome to the show.
You know.
Yeah.
Let's introduce to the listeners our lovely college friend turned family, Mercedes Williams.
Hey now.
Patiently waiting in the backstage of the studio. And she didn't want to take over and be the spotlight. So she just waited. So Mercedes, we want you to introduce yourself very quickly. And then Jazz is going to tell her special delivery story.
Hey everybody, I'm Mercedes Williams. in 2006 on the first day of freshman year. And we've been going strong ever since. And I'm so happy to be here to celebrate this stage of her next milestone in life. So let's get it. I'm gonna go on mute.
And might I add, your girls are popping today, so welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so this next segment is called Special Delivery. In the movies, labor always begins with someone in a high stress situation, either upset or excited, and emotions are running high. So then whoosh, all of a sudden their water breaks and they have to rush to the hospital room, or they can't make it because the baby's already halfway out. We always see those babies being born in the back of a taxi or in the bathroom at home. So we want to hear what your delivery experience was like. Try to give us the best description of your delivery in about 2 minutes. So we're going to start with Jasmine. Please tell us.
All right, so you guys can't see me. We're on the radio. I'm a plus side girly, and pleasantly plump is what we call it. And I was hungry a lot during my pregnancy. Kiara was a cesarean from plan. As I told you before, my mom had hip dysplasia. She decided to pass that along. And we got to pick her birth date of July 2nd, which she shares with her paternal grandfather. But back to me being hungry. I called the cesarean doctor 2 hours before I was supposed to stop eating and told him that I'm going to go ahead and eat some more. And he told me that I had 2 hours. No, he said I could extend it 2 hours past the time, but I had to stop eating. So I had Taco Bell, Wendy's, and Sheetz the night before I gave birth to my child, which comes in handy because I was then bumped twice for 2 emergency cesareans. I was supposed to deliver Kiara by like 3 o'clock. And I mean, like, done delivery, cesarean and everything. And I had sat there all day when I got there at noon and was told that the anesthesiologist was going home. And I was not nice to the anesthesiologist. And I told him he needed to extend his time so he could deliver this big baby up out of me. And that he was going to have to put in some OT and go ahead and administer this good anesthesia so he can get this child out of me because I had not eaten, y'all, since 12. And now it is 6 o'clock in the evening and I'm hungry. My child's probably biting on her umbilical cord because we're both starving at this point. That epidural, 10 sticks, 10 times. We could not find the pocket. When we finally found it, I said, let's go. And I could see in the nursing area, delivery area, you can see with the mirror on top of the bed. So I can see my insides, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I could see the whole delivery. Kiara's dad was in nursing school at that time, so he was super excited. And he was like, yeah, they're moving this over. They're moving that body part over. And I wanted him to shut up. So 6:48, my child is born. We got a cry and they bring her around the sheet. And Kiara's dad is manila envelope white. He's very, very light skinned. And they brought my baby around the sheet and she was brown. And that's all I asked for from God, is that she did not have my hair and that she was brown, in Jesus' name. And God honored those things. He said to be detailed in my prayers. So I was. So yes, I had a baby with melanin. I was very excited about that. My mom was not happy that I did let her in the nursing room initially because I was hungry. So again, everybody felt my wrath in that nursing area because I was starving. So the nurse gave me a popsicle and I threw it up all over her Crocs. Ma'am, I'm very sorry. And it was orange and I'll never forget that. But that's my delivery. I felt terrible. I was a hangry woman. I did not care about anything but getting her out so I could eat because she ate all the food that I put in the night before.
All that junk food.
And I was a lot of junk food. And she came out hungry. So as soon as she came out, I asked them not to feed her. any Similac because I really wanted to nurse right away. So after, they take you out, they have to sew you up and everything. So it takes time. And they said that she had the same temperament as me. So we were both very hungry and angry. And once we got together, we were fine.
That is true to this day. You guys are serious about your food.
Yes, we are. But we are serious about our food, both of us.
Well, I think that was a lot of
So
details.
that would be my story.
Thank you, Jazz. That was a lot more than we asked for, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay.
That's what I'm here for.
It is. This is what you're here for. Okay, well, we're going to jump to Mercedes. I think it's going to be a little less animated, possibly. Well, let's find out.
Krysta, that was a challenge. I'll let you guys pick. You want the dramatic story or you want the cookie cutter story?
All of it.
Drama.
Because I had two extremely different
drama
experiences. So let's start there. I'll start with number one since you guys wanted the drama. It didn't start off dramatic. I actually had a scheduled induction because my daughter was already 8 days late, and they don't really recommend that you go past like being 10 days late. So I had a scheduled induction, went in the hospital the day before she was born at about 4 p.m. Started off very calm, nothing too crazy. I will note she was born in COVID time. So once you were there, you could not leave. If my husband left, he would have not been able to be, he would not have been allowed back into the room. So he had to stay there the entire time. So induction is very interesting. They start the medical process for you, basically. They had to put a balloon up there, a balloon to expand and help me dilate, which is the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. When it popped, when I was 4 centimeters, I yelled and they ran into the room. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It popped. Fine. You're good. Very rough, very just interesting experience. All that to say, started my process at 4 p.m. the day before. I was in labor for 19 and a half hours. So my daughter was not born until 6 p.m. the next day. And I was 20 minutes out from getting a C-section because I would not dilate. But my husband literally was like, check her one more time. And I was fully dilated when he said, check her, as they were prepping the OR. So really thankful for that. Really painful experience. Just a mess, honestly. It was a lot of medical involvement. So the second time around, I was really praying and asking God to allow me to go into labor on my own. So I woke up in labor. What a prayer. I was laboring all night and didn't know it, and woke up in labor where my contractions were already less than 5 minutes apart. So called my doctor and said, I think I'm in labor. That was 6:30 in the morning. I got to the hospital at about 9:30 a.m. My doula met me there. The doctor was there. They said I was calm. I did not feel calm. However, they said I walked in calm, so they did not think I was in labor. But when they checked me, I was already 6 centimeters dilated. So God was already answering my prayer. Got admitted. My water broke at 11:44 in the morning, and my daughter was born 5 minutes later. So it was really up from there. It was just like my doula was doing all the right things. Every contraction, she was on it. Water broke naturally. That was like the cookie cutter story. Like, couldn't have asked for a better delivery. That was as best as it got, So I'm hoping for that for you, Car. Really, 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 really am. So that's the condensed version.
Yeah, it sounds like, Karlynn, the name of the game is to have 2 babies. On the second one is when it's going to be, right where you want it. That first baby, though, doesn't sound promising. I'm just saying. Okay, well, let's check with Tam and see if she has maybe a... Any hope for us?
I see Karlynn breathing all heavy, and I'm like, are you in labor now? Like, do we need to?
I'm going through with these stories.
Baby, are you sitting on a medicine ball? Are you okay? Just about. We'll finish the show, then we'll get to the hospital.
I think I'm all right.
Okay, so, and Krysta, don't wish that on her.
Right.
Unless she wants it. My story of delivery, I was at work. I was scheduled to be induced on the 26th because I was like very high risk. I was blood clots in my lungs right before I got pregnant. So I was on a blood thinner. I ended up being gestational diabetes. So I was sticking myself every day. I was older, geriatric, whatever you say. So I was a high risk, and they had already planned on inducing me. And that was my plan. You're scheduled on the 26th. That's when you're going to come. I'm going to work until the 25th, and we're going to keep this going. Don't look at me like that, Jazz. So I was at work on the 18th of the month, and at the end of, I worked at a school, and I was at the front desk. So at the end of the day, the principal was sharing a story about a student who he was like, I was out of school because I had a temperature of 115 degrees. And my mom told me I was coming to school today. And we were like, 115 degrees Fahrenheit? You're dead. Like, what are you talking about? So I'm cracking up at this kid because the way she was telling the story, it sounded exactly like the student. And I couldn't stop, I just couldn't stop laughing. So it was like one of the loudest, gut-wrenching laughs that I ever gave. Fast forward maybe like a half hour later, we're sitting there and we're chatting. It was slow because the kids had an early dismissal that day, so there weren't a lot of students. And I'm like, ouch, what is my back hurts, blah, blah, blah. Don't pay it any mind. One of my coworkers is like, what? Your back hurts? Where? And I'm like, it's fine. Like, it's probably just something I ate. I get up and go to the bathroom. Nothing. I come back, I sit down. I have to pee again. I get up and go to the bathroom. I get right in front of the desk at the school, and I feel something coming down my leg. And I'm still my due date is on the 26th. That's when I'm having the baby. I go to the bathroom and I'm like, I can't stop peeing. And I come back out and I was like, I kind of peed on myself a little bit, but that's normal because, when you're pregnant, sometimes that happens. And they're like, I think your water just broke. And I was like, my water can't break because I don't have a bag ready. My house isn't clean. I have to drive for Lyft tonight. So they were like, no, you need to go to the hospital because blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I have to go home first. So I drove home and I straightened up my room a little bit and I got some things together. And I just was peeing like nonstop. I'm like, my God, I have to pee again. I drove myself to the hospital and I was like, so I think my water broke. It's just nonstop, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, you are in fact in labor, but I had to wait before I was able to get into an actual room. So I was still in triage. And then like a couple hours later, the pain started hitting. Like I wasn't in pain. It was just, I was just leaking. So the pain started hitting and I'm like, okay, I think I am in labor for real now. So can I get, well, we can't give you anything until you get to your actual delivery room. Well, when is that going to happen? Today's a very busy day for moms. A lot of people are giving birth. Well, can you tell somebody to hurry up and push theirs out? Because I would like to be in a room because I would like to have something to help me push this baby out. So they checked me. I was like 6 centimeters pretty early on, like within 5 or 6 hours, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's long or short, but according to Mercedes' second child, it's very short. So, or very long rather. So I'm in the room just waiting to be moved to delivery. So when I get to delivery, at this point, I'm like, you need to come on. But they're like, well, the baby's blood pressure. And so this is what I don't like. Like, they're so happy about it. The baby's having some issues. The pressure's not good. We want to make sure. So they kind of stopped my labor. And then, like, I just waited overnight. But the pain was still there. So when they finally got me to get an epidural, the lady kept saying, I need you to sit like a cat. I need you to sit like a cat. And by this time, I'm upset now. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm tired of your mouth. You're telling me to sit like a cat. What does that mean? At this point, I went off. Like, it was, okay, I need somebody who can explain to me what sit like a cat means. I ain't never been a cat before. I need to know what that means. So then they finally explained it to me. And we got the baby out, but it was also a 19-hour labor. So because of blood pressure going up, blood pressure going out, down, baby's unhappy. Baby's really excited. Baby's unhappy. How are you doing, Mom? Well, I don't think the epidural is working. 19 hours later, I had a beautiful baby girl who came out looking at her hands and her feet in awe. We captured a picture of her just looking like, what are these? So after that, I bawled like a baby, and I used to say I'm a gospel thug. But when I saw her, I just was like, it was bad. I was embarrassed, but not embarrassed. But here we are today. I'm a proud mom of Tavia. That's my story.
Oh, that's a great story. Well, all of you guys with your long, drawn out delivery stories. I live about 8 hours from Karlynn. So literally, I'm not going to be in a rush. I'm going to be at work when I'm going to get the call, and I'm just going to get in my car and drive to Nashville. So that's how that's going to work. And I'll get there just in time. So thank you all for sharing. And right. Karlynn, do you have a plan, or do you wish your have a plan for how you wish your delivery to go, or?
Well, y'all know me. I have a very low tolerance for pain. And I am working on mind over matter, especially when it comes to even just like shots. I whimper a little bit when I get shots, and I'm trying to do better. I would love a half an hour labor and delivery, from door to baby, this may be wishful thinking based upon these stories, and I can tell by y'all's faces.
Hey, at our church, we have what we say. So go ahead and keep speaking it.
Yeah.
And just...
So,
yeah, if that's, I'll pray.
So, but to be honest, my expectations for birthing is natural, healthy, and short. That's what I would love. And I would love for my husband to be present, because you hear so many stories of like, oh, they're here, they can't get there, or they kind of miss it. And I would, that is the goal, for it to be natural, healthy, and short, and with my husband. Yeah.
Amen. Karlynn's due around, do I? Oh.
The day before Mother's Day.
I was going to get...
I want my Mother's Day present.
That's right.
To be natural, healthy, and short.
I know that's right. Well, that leads directly into the next segment. Before the baby actually arrives, we're going to just take a guess to see exactly which date is going to be his birthday. And thankfully, our hostess with the mostest, she was so generous. The mama closest to the actual date will get a shout out when he arrives and receive a self-care package from Nailed It Motherhood Podcast. Let's go around and take a stab and throw out what we think the baby boy Brown is gonna make his debut. Let's start.
Do we get a baseline? Because I don't remember her date.
She just said it's before Mother's Day, so the due date is actually May 11th. Is that correct?
May 11th.
Correct.
That's according to doctors, that is the alleged
and my
due date.
And my period app, my pregnancy app.
Okay.
Same exact date.
Mercedes?
Yeah, I'll say May 17th.
That's wild.
It is wild.
That's a long time after the date.
First time moms are historically late on due dates. So outside of Tammy's,
Are we allowed to ask what is the baby's percentile right now?
Last appointment, he was measuring around 39%.
I'm gonna have to go with Sadie's and say like May 13th. I ain't gonna give you the 17th. Good God. May 13th.
Well, Car already knows when I want the baby to be born, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I would like to have a birthday present of May 14th.
Pretty good.
Yeah, my mom's birthday's on May 10th, and so are both of my cousins. I don't need anybody else on the 10th.
Krista,
I actually have no idea. I'm going to say, since none of the Kearneys or Browns are very punctual, this baby's going to be the first of the generation to be punctual. It's going to come right on time, May 11th.
Hopeful.
I don't believe that.
She'll probably be right. Car, when do you think he's going to come?
I would love an on-time baby.
He's an on-time Brown.
Anytime is the right time.
A successful procrastinator. He gonna be born at like 11:20.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm predicting.
It's all based on the baby's personality. It's all based on the baby's personality. My daughter, literally, she's 3, and she told me a couple months ago that she didn't want to come out. So that was the 19 and a half labor story. Ain't that something? She said, Mommy, when I was in your belly, I didn't want to come out. I said, oh, okay.
I'd be interested in Tammy asking her child why she was letting the tank go empty while she was in there. Why you just drain the tank all day? Baby ain't gonna have no amniotic fluid. You just peeing all day. You thought that
I just need to tie some loose ends.
Really,
first.
Tammy?
She was not on my schedule, which is pretty much what Mercedes was saying. I had a plan, and she wasn't following it. And she said, I don't care about your plan. It's going to be what I say it's going to be. Okay, well, let me pack a bag first. I didn't even successfully clean the room.
That's how Tom lives her life, though. I feel like she's on her own schedule, her own wavelength. She does what she wants.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's exhausting.
Yep.
See,
and my child is hungry.
Every one of our babies showed us who they were. Every one of them. So we are excited to see who Baby Brown will be. I can't wait to hear your story.
So true. Well, thank you all for sharing so much. I just want to encourage Karlynn. You have been such a light to all of us that are on this call right now, and even going forward, you're going to continue to be a light. And this is just another step another journey that you're moving into, and you have truly set forth, gone forth, made it a goal of yours to master the art of friendship. And that's why we're able to have this call right now. You have such great friends around you because of your desire to be such a great friend. And it's very clear. So I believe wholeheartedly that that's just going to transfer right on over into motherhood. And you're going to take pride in how well you choose to mother your child and be a great parent, you and Malcolm. So I encourage you to keep God first as always, and also, stick with your village. You have a great village around you of friends and family that will always be with you from here until forever and ever and ever. And let's just go ahead and do this thing. And pain is temporary. So just know that on the other end, you're going to have a beautiful, healthy, bright and bubbly baby boy. And our B5, of course. It's going to be a great journey, and the product is going to be even greater.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Whew.
Would you like to say anything?
Oh, I mean, I'm truly grateful for my village. This host of amazing women on this call who I've met at different stages of my life, who have been an encouragement, how we've been able to keep each other grounded, love on each other through the ups and downs and different journeys that we partake in. And I am grateful that I can call on you guys for anything. It's been amazing to be able to start this journey with Malcolm, get pregnant so soon in our marriage, and track this here in Nashville. But I am I wallowed a little bit in the fact that we are here in Nashville and my core village is so far away, but God has truly blessed me to where, blessed Malcolm and I to where we have local family and friends that I call family and friends from my church, and I'm thrilled to be able to share this journey with everybody. And I feel the love. I've always felt the love, and I have no worries whatsoever through this journey of how blessed this is going to be and how amazing that this is going to be. So thank you. Thank you for doing this. Tam, thank you for doing this. You're the bomb. Your girl is the bomb and the most talkative child that I have encountered. And I held her when she was very young. Held her hand as a toddler. I mean, she's a bundle of joy. Mercedes, your girls, they are so fun as well. And I enjoy watching their personalities bloom around you. And it's great to have friends who have young kids who have just, recently experienced, what I'm experiencing. And I'm grateful for that. And Jasmine and Kiara, if you guys didn't know, Kiara is a spitting image of Jasmine. She is her twin. She does everything that Jasmine does. She talks just like her. She is 16 years old and sassy, and she's one of my favorites. She had turned into one of my niece, and I'm grateful to have and build that relationship with her. And I'm still waiting on her phone call because she owes me a phone call. Yes. And Krysta, who was not only my big sister, but also my mother as well. She has motherly tendencies, and she mothered me growing up. She gave me my first haircut in a high chair and a stool in the kitchen. And that is in an envelope that my mom labeled as Karlynn's first haircut. So Krysta is a mother. She has god kids, and she takes care of them. She travels to see them. So when I tell you, when I call her, she's getting right on that road. She'll have a backpack. She's ready to go. And I know she'll be here. She may beat everybody else. So thank you.
Absolutely. And I just want to say once again, thank you so much to the host of It Motherhood Podcast. You are fantastic. Miss Eldridge. You are doing big things and you continue to be an inspiration to us all. So thank you so much, Tam. I'm just going to pass the baton right back to you. Thank you so much for having me. My first time co-hosting a podcast. So I appreciate you. Tam, back to you.
Thank you.
We do have to. I'm sorry. Oh man, we may have to do that over. But we do have to still get words.
I was just about to do that. Yep.
Oh,
we good. We good.
My bad.
Krysta,
I gotta run that back. Okay.
Trust and believe. How many times did I mess up?
Screw it. Sorry.
Really? Anywho, thank you, Krysta, for taking on my baton and crushing the hosting. Yes.
Thank you so much.
It does not surprise me that you gave Cara her first haircut. Mm-hmm. Nope, doesn't surprise me. You said, "Come here. Let me see your head." No, it doesn't surprise me at all. I love it. But just the words of wisdom alone had me in my emotions. I was like, "Wait a minute, she's not even talking to me." Oh, yeah. Thank you for just being who you are, because it's because of who you are as a friend and a sister that Karlynn, not just because of you, but a large part of who Cara is because of you. And I know that because she speaks so highly of you and she loves on you more than a lot of people love their moms. Let's be honest. Like, Cara talks about her sister. She loves her sister. And I have known that since I met her when we were at Penn State. So thank you for being who you are and being a genuine person. And thank you for taking on this task and allowing me to sit back and just enjoy the episode. I'm going to say my thanks to everybody, and I'm going to keep it as short as I can, but, still get out what I need to get out. So Mercedes, thank you for showing up. I know today was a rough day for you, but you still came through and you still shared words of wisdom and you still had fun. And I love you. I've already given you my thanks because your episode is actually, when this episode comes out, your episode would have already been out. But for now, your episode is coming out on Tuesday, and I just keep listening to it because you just have so many. You have like a bucket full of endless gems. It's just bottomless. Like, it's like, here you go. Oh, I thought you were done. Nope, I have some more. Sit down, baby. Here's some more gems. Like, you just have always been that person who you're relatable, but you're wise, and put them together. And it just makes the perfect combination of somebody to follow after, to look up to. And I know I'm 1 year older than you, but I look up to you. So thank you. Thank you for being the person that you are called to be. Jasmine, I just officially met you for real, but I've known about you for a long time. And just in our interaction, I'm happy to have been able to link with you. And I'm happy that you said yes, that you would do this a podcast episode, because your energy is one that people want to be around. Like, it's just, you just carry yourself with such charisma, but also class. Like, I have seen you on Facebook and I'm just like, that's my girl. I don't even know her like that, but that is my girl. Yes, boo, do that. But the energy that you bring is necessary. It's necessary for the church because it makes people want to follow Christ. So I thank you for being who you are. I thank you for saying yes. I thank you for being authentic, and I love your stories. So I'm excited to just edit this whole entire episode because it's going to be fun. And I'll probably be sitting by myself with headphones on and cracking up most of this editing experience. But thank you for saying yes. And thank you for being a great friend to both Krysta and Cara and Mercedes, because you guys at this point, y'all are a package, all of you. So thank you. Karlynn, my girl. I was really excited whenever you text me. I kind of already knew, I said something, she's pregnant. And I was waiting for you to tell me because I wasn't about to be like, hey girl, you pregnant? And then I'd be all wrong because that's disgusting. Like, don't assume. But I was very, very, very ecstatic whenever you sent me a text and said, guess what? I was like, yes. And then when you told me that you were having a boy, you are the only one in this group right now that is carrying a boy. And I'm excited to add that element to the group. I'm going to give the mic back to Jasmine and back to Mercedes so they can share. And then we are shutting down and closing out.
Ooh, Jazz, you ready? Let Jazz go first, if you don't mind.
Aren't I always ready?
Yes.
Always, dear. I had no doubt.
I actually came prepared because I feel like we as mothers, one, we have two components against us. We're women, and then we're Black women. And being a Black woman in this day and age is an uphill battle sometimes. So camaraderie and sisterhood is definitely something that is valued amongst us, which is why you can see us going on trips, 10 deep. You can see us, going to brunch with our girlfriends. You can see us hanging out with our girlfriends, at church, those same girlfriends or girlfriends that you then went through everything with, and then got you so right on a good Sunday morning. Like, camaraderie is something that we cherish as Black women, and it's definitely needed. And you are a proponent of friendship. You are the friend that everyone's friends with. And it doesn't even matter what they contribute, you're going to find some redeeming quality of that person, and you're going to befriend that person. And I charge you to allow us to do that for you. Allow us to be there for you when your baby ain't, sleeping, crying all over the place. The baby doesn't like this type of nipple and wants this type of nipple. The baby don't like no nipples and just wants your nipple. Like, just let us be your sounding board. And don't hold those things to yourself, and give yourself grace. I talked to a lot of my friends are older ladies. And I remember one of them attributing motherhood to driving a car. You're like scared behind the wheel when you have your first child and you're putting on your seatbelt, you're checking your mirrors every time, you're making sure the AC is where it needs to be, music's not above, 15. You got all of these safety measures in place. And you're driving, white knuckled. And you don't have to do that with motherhood. You can literally trust God, listen to the Holy Spirit, and allow your friends, the village that you have, to pour into you, and give yourself grace. There, you might not signal to make the turn. You might go over the speed limit. Your baby might run into a wall. It's okay. He gonna bounce back. Your baby fell off the bike. You stubbed your toe and you said, God dog it. And now the baby's saying it, which I'm sure he's going to because of your dad. There's so many different manuals and books out there on motherhood. And the only thing that they're good for is for you to, purchase the things you need to purchase as a mom. They're never going to be able to tell you exactly how to raise your child. Trust your instincts. Trust the instincts of your mother because she's a great mom. And listen to the Holy Spirit.
Beautiful. I'm telling you.
That's good.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. That was spot on.
That was spot on. Now, last but certainly not least, I would love if Mercedes had some words of wisdom to gift to our mama to be. I will give you the mic.
Thank you. There's so much. Jazz hit it on the nose, but Karlynn, I know you. You are a perfectionist. You're an engineer. You're a planner. You are just super intelligent. But sometimes, being a parent is going to challenge every aspect of who you are and who you thought you were. So, like Jazz said, give yourself grace. Just because the first plan doesn't work out doesn't mean you failed. It just means tweak it a little bit. Or, you wanted to use this bottle, or you spent a lot of money on this cloth and the baby don't even want the one you spent, $100 on. They want the one that costs $5. It's okay. And don't, like Jazz said, just take care of yourself, because you're going to need that. You're going to need to fill your cup first, and your husband's going to need something. Your baby's going to need something. But if you don't fill your cup, whether that's a quick scripture in the morning, a literal cup of coffee, just twisting your hair up, putting some lip gloss on, taking a shower, you're going to realize how gold taking a shower is once that baby comes. I'm telling you. And I know, just as a wife to a wife, our husbands don't do things the way we want them to do them sometimes. And we think we got to do it because they're not doing it the way we want it done. But sometimes that baby is not going to die if, they not wrapped, the swaddle isn't at the neck and it's not aligned perfectly. They will be okay, and, uplift your husband, empower him to take on the tasking so that you can get a break. Because sometimes you can find ourselves wanting to do it perfectly, and then we take it all on, but then we're frustrated because we wanted to do it all, but then we're tired. So let him struggle through some things, figure out where to split the time, figure out what works best for your home and your household. And you can read the blogs, you can listen to people's stories, but balance it with what you know and use the common sense you have for your home. Even our parents, we love them to life, but you're going to have to decide what you want to listen to and what you need to listen to for your peace sake, to be at peace, So by all means, take what's for you, but that's all I have to give. I know the ladies have given you a lot, so pleasure to be here.
It's amazing. It's amazing to hear you guys' stories from when you first found out, to y'all's dramatic births to the kids that you have now. If there was one thing that you could say that you absolutely loved about pregnancy, what is it?
Man, I grew this beautiful kid inside of me like a petri dish. Like, sometimes I look at her and I'll be like, I did that.
That's real.
I did. My pregnancy was rough, socially rough and physically rough. I had gestational diabetes, knowing from start I wasn't going to be able to have a natural birth. But the moment I heard that heartbeat, man, we are not going to have wet eyes. The moment I heard that heartbeat, like, life changed. My walk changed. And even through the adversity, like, motherhood is beautiful. It's a beautiful gift. And whether you birth your own child, and I've learned this through my husband, or you choose to parent a child, that responsibility is great. And God has literally given us the manual on how to do that. Like, you train up the child in the way that they should go. And when they're old, they won't depart. Your child is going to be just as boisterous and questionable as his parents. And I look forward to y'all answering these questions when he's like, but if you do it the other way, it just makes sense. Creating a child who has individuality, just that growth. When I first heard her heartbeat and just wanting her to be independent and have a voice of her own was all I could think about when I heard her heart. My bad. We can edit that.
No, we won't.
I'm a gospel thug too.
Yeah,
I cry at
right.
the drop of a hat, but I'll slap somebody in a minute.
I did not enjoy my pregnancy too much. I had a lot going on in my personal life that impacted my pregnancy. A lot of loss a lot of loss during pregnancy. But the one thing that I took away from carrying Tavia is that she led me back to God. I knew that I had to get it together before I actually took a test, but having that confirmation that I was about to be responsible for somebody else made me accountable to myself. I could no longer just go with the flow with the wrong people. I had to sit and I had to remind myself, no, I had to be reminded who I am. So she saved me, and that's my theme. Like, if it was not for my child, I don't know where I would be right now. So, and after she came, my life looked up. So I'm grateful that she came at the time that she came, because it was dark and she helped me light the path to remind me whose I am.
Our story is very similar, Tammy. We got to talk.
It's really good.
Y'all are so poetic. I'm just going to lighten it up a bit and just say my pregnancy was fine. Honestly, like, I didn't have any... I honestly, like, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind being pregnant until like month 8 or 9, just because I could not bend over. And that really used to frustrate me. It would be a tipping. This is going to be tipping. But like, I enjoyed the cravings I had. I mean, my girls like healthy food, apparently. Like, I crave avocado with Kelsey and just salads and stuff with Maddie. And they just want me to be fine. So I appreciate them for that. You know, like... I think I weighed less pregnant than I did unpregnant. So I'm just like, get your life. Okay. So I'm just going to say, like, pregnancy was cool, round belly, and feeling the kicks, you know, as they mature, just, you know, you feel them moving and it's just a powerful experience. It's just, you know, it's unmatched. So, but equally excited to evict them from the body was also a highlight of pregnancy, was getting them out. So.
Well, I know I look forward to whatever happens in the future, for whatever God has in store for me. I'm not the only one in Karlynn's life who we're anticipating God blessing us with motherhood. So, but thank you all for everything that you shared. That was inspiring to me to hear all of your stories. And I know you're Karlynn's circle, but you're my circle too. Amen.
Smack dab in the middle.
Shout out to Malcolm and him embarking on fatherhood for the first time as well. So I know that God has truly sent Karlynn somebody who is a really great match for her.
Yeah.
So I wanted to mention that it's a blessing that Malcolm is in her life, and he was the one who was able to give her this beautiful baby boy. So excited.
Yes,
All right,
Krysta,
Dan.
what's the 5 BBs? What do the 5 Bs stand for?
I was thinking about it this morning, and I honestly have no idea. So, and I think I added an extra B in there. So it's the burger. It started off as a burger baby, and then it became the burger baby brown, and then we found out it was a boy, and then we said, oh, but she can't eat just any burger. It's got to be a bougie burger. So it's a bougie burger baby boy brown.
All right,
so he's B5.
Yes, and we actually, this is a fun day today. In church, we were teaching about prayer. And we were almost like at the end of the service, we practiced prayers. Literally, like we just sat for a moment and started with, Jesus, this is what happened this week. This is how I felt. The worst part about this is, and then ending with, but you're a God who can do this, that, and the other. And I started off with like, God, this week I've been thinking about all the things that I have left to do, all the things that I haven't done. And I kind of feel ill-equipped, or I kind of feel as though I haven't prepared. And the worst part about that feeling is I feel like I'm being a bad mother. And this was literally the feelings that I had, but I know that I serve a God with who provides strength and wisdom and peace and comfort. And this has been such a great confirmation podcast for me, because I know that I'm going to have the support. I know that I can trust God in all that I do. And this baby is going to come out in God's timing. It's going to come out with everything that is supposed to happen. And I'm not worried at all whatsoever. So that is just, it's just straight confirmation for this podcast. So thank you. Thank you all.
Wow. So yeah, you guys are amazing. You really are. You definitely have the right village in your corner. And with that being said, don't allow mom guilt, especially not now. Don't allow mom guilt to overtake you, ever. Because I've been guilty of it a couple times. But your baby is being birthed in your family for a reason. So just allow God to let him show you who that child is, and follow his lead to lead him to him. So, yeah. Thank you everyone for hopping on and just blessing this podcast podium. Like, this is amazing. I'll probably listen to this episode over and over and over again before and after it's been released. So thank you. So listeners, I hope you were also blessed. I do want to remind you, if you like this episode and you want to hear more parenting stories, we had a plethora of stories today, but you can listen to a new episode bi-weekly. And all you have to do is subscribe to the social media platforms, Nailed It Motherhood Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. I also have a TikTok and we're working on it. But you can follow us on your favorite podcast platform. That would be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. You can also be a guest on the podcast by completing a guest application. If you want to do that, you can check the link in the bio. We welcome your questions, comments, and ideas, and we certainly hope to keep the conversations going. Until next time, keep on doing what it is you do. Maybe you have a recipe for our handbook. Bye.